Guys, welcome back to another segment of Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it.
We've got time. Guys, this is Formula for Speed. I'm your host, Chad. This is my lovely co-host, Babyface. Babyface, and guys, the last video I said I'm going to save my opinions on Ferrari for this video. I'm going to let you lead off, Babyface. Because you didn't talk much about Ferrari either last video. And let me know what you thought about their overall weekend and what happened to them pit stop wise, strategy wise. What happened? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts. Guys, in the comments, Ferrari fans, let us know your thoughts. I'm seeing in the comments, as part of Ferrari's master plan. Yeah, that's your bluff to cover up for the crap that's going on. Why would you? Ferrari's never had to use a master plan like this to get anything done. They were already at the top. So, whatever. What do you think, Babyface? Thoughts? What you think? Take a deep breath. Let them have it. Let them know.
What is going on with Ferrari? 10.5 second pit stop for Leclerc.
They weren't ready with the tires.
How are you not ready? Does the pit wall not talk to the pit crew? Do the drivers just show up and go, hey, I've decided to box? How are you not ready for tires? How are you not ready? Followed by a 5-second pit stop for Leclerc.
Actually, Vettel's pit stops were decent.
So your car is already trash.
I don't know.
You have no speed. Anybody who tells me that Ferrari has never cheated, shut up. The last time they were fast was in 2018-19 when their car was a damn rocket, and then the FIA came in like, no, you can't do that. Slap on the hand. And then they diverted whatever they weren't supposed to do, that's kept secret, and now we see Ferrari's true speed. Trash. Someone had the nerve to violate a poor snail by drawing a Ferrari logo on the poor snail's shell. I have never seen something so fitting in my life. So not only are you slow, you weren't ready with tires, you had a 10.5 pit stop, followed by a 5-second pit stop for Leclerc. And then when Leclerc gets on the radio going, why are our pit stops so slow? We'll talk about it later. The only thing I loved about that was Carlos Sainz's face. Well, his face, admittedly, wasn't at the pit stops. It was at the fact.
It was the very end when they showed him.
Not just that, but it was also the fact that you and I both, my blood literally froze in my veins when I saw Vettel and Leclerc have a moment on the track. Their wheels touched for a second.
They did.
And you were just, I remember you saying, no, you cannot take each other out.
You know what? I thought about that. You know what I thought about just now? I wouldn't be surprised if them two, because notice leading up to that, there were some questions asked about the strategy from Leclerc, and they didn't know what to tell him. They were lost. They didn't know what to say. I'm like, you guys don't know what to tell this kid? So I'm thinking, Vettel and Leclerc probably got side by side and looked at each other and said, should we just crash them both out? Because I don't know why we're here. I don't know why we're here. First of all, guys, let's talk about what you stated. Ferrari had the track record set by Kimi since 2018. 141.5. No car had been faster until Lewis broke that just this year. So all the Mercedes haters talking about Mercedes, he's at the fast car. That just proves the point. They didn't. They did not. 2018 Ferrari's car was up to that point. They said arguably the fastest. And you're looking at the F1.com. When I say they, experts, old drivers, guys that study this data, that was one of the fastest cars they've seen in F1 history. Had the track record. And Lewis beat the record, but not by a ton. This is from an 18 car. He just beat it in 20. So you guys had the power, and it seems like when there's an investigation done and some things are done about behind the scenes about what you guys have been doing to your engine, now you slow down all of a sudden. That's why everybody's saying you guys must have been doing something underhanded, because after the penalty, you just dropped off the pace completely. Bonotto looks like he has no idea what to do. I don't know what's going through his mind. Everything's off. The arrow's off. They can't figure out, with this track this week, they couldn't figure out the downforce. They couldn't figure out what to do with the car. Normally, Leclerc's running way better than Vettel. This time, they finished, 13th and 14th? Maybe a little lower. Doesn't matter. They weren't in the points. That's my point. They are now, for the first time, we are able to talk about them with the rest of the mid-pack teams.
I mean, Leclerc was having a battle with Grosjean.
For 13th at one point, or 14th. My question is, when your drivers ask for strategy, 15th, doesn't matter, out of the point. When your drivers radio in and ask you about strategy, Vettel had already got on there cussing and fussing. He was tired. They didn't know what to tell him. Leclerc then radios in. What's the strategy? We're going to look at that and tell you later. That means you don't know.
Yeah, we'll get back to you.
What?
What?
This is Ferrari. Guys, this is not some rookie team that is new to F1 who's never... This is Ferrari. I mean, what is going on? The pit stops were atrocious. You weren't ready. What? What's going on, babyface?
Bonotto out. That's why I stand.
I can't even you know what? I can't even blame everything on Bonotto. It's not only him. He can't help the fact that someone in the FIA, okay, so my thought is, he can't help the fact that Ferrari has always had someone in the front office of the FIA. That's proven. They always have. Always will. I don't know who pissed off who in the front office. I don't know who made someone upset. But someone says, you know what? We're tired of you. Something happened behind the scenes. They made Ferrari pay the price. Engine drops off. You can't put that all on Bonotto.
No, but Bonotto also doesn't have the leadership required to pull that bloody team together. Let's just face it.
At this point, who does?
Someone other than Bonotto.
You can't manage performance because what can you do about the performance of the car? You can't.
Can you manage strategy? What do you mean? If both of your drivers get on the radio and go, how do you want us to manage these tires? We'll get back to you. That's just simply not an acceptable response.
You know what I think that was? For the first time, Ferrari showed they were lost because they're not used to struggling this bad. When is the last time you've seen Ferrari at the bottom of the pack, except for the early 90s? Maybe made a couple times in the mid. When's the last time you've seen Ferrari struggle? They don't know what to do because they've been out of touch.
You mean they don't know how to race without cheating? I 100% agree with that statement.
Ferrari fans, I hate to tell you this, but
you mean they don't know how to race clean like Lance Armstrong was trying to cycle clean and couldn't make it to the top? Yeah. Is this like their Lance Armstrong, we're going to try to do this clean by the book like everybody else is doing? Oh crap, this is really hard.
Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. Ferrari fans, it's tough for me to watch you all in Mercedes comments, Racing Points comments. You all have so much internal things going on. You should not be commenting on anybody else's page.
I just answered my own... I'm genius. I just answered my own question. No wonder the strategists don't know what to do. You never needed a good strategy if your car was tailored to be faster than everybody else's.
Again, and I'll say this.
What strategy did you need? You were always out front. You were just faster. Yeah. But now that your car isn't the fastest, you're like, oh crap, we actually have to come up with a strategy. Do we have strategists on the team? Do we?
For all the Mercedes or any McLaren haters, Mercedes haters, Red Bull haters, Ferrari fans, you've had the fastest car on the grid up to this year. The track records will prove it. Up to 2020, there was not a faster car than Ferrari. Everyone will attest to that.
I bet you $20 Sainz is kicking himself in the teeth right now. Sainz is probably going, right, I'm going to do this for 2 seasons. I need to think of where I'm going to go after this.
Well, for Sainz, the rules all changed in 2022. So his best bet is to stay there until baby Schumi comes through.
I mean, are they going to give Sainz the same support they are giving Leclerc and Vettel right now?
I don't think they have a choice.
Non-existent?
I think they have to. You know, I think when fans start coming back, Ferrari fans will start throwing stuff at you.
I think that is the only saving grace for Ferrari right now, is the fact that
Monza's next
there's
week.
Currently a virus and no fans are allowed, because I think Ferrari fans and everybody else is going to start throwing tomatoes and eggs at the Ferrari pit wall. What are you doing?
I honestly don't think they have an answer for what's going on.
How the mighty have fallen.
Well, my question is, were you ever mighty if you were doing things underhandedly like people are accusing them of?
Hey, you know what? We look at the results. Ferrari has been on top for a very long time. They'll probably argue it doesn't matter how we got there. Nobody questions that. We just look at the results. Okay. Well, we're looking at the results right now, and they are trash, aren't they?
Guys, for all the people, Ferrari fans, and I'll say this to you on camera, like Hamilton and Senna, Schumacher had a rocket of a car. Always had when he was with Ferrari. I don't take any, and I've always said this, Schumi was the best driver I've seen outside of Senna when I was a kid growing up. Now you have Lewis right there with him. My thing is this, do I take anything away from Schumi? No. But I will say, since I've been watching F1 as a small child, everyone has always questioned, Ferrari's good, but a little bit of underhandedness there. I never accused him of cheating. I just said, hey, get it done.
I did.
Babyface, her father, explained to her, Ferrari cheats. She's from Germany. Babyface, it was explained to her, Ferrari cheats. Now, guys, Ferrari fans, the reason why people, again, are sticking to this notion is because after you get penalized, look how your car falls off. If you weren't cheating, shouldn't you still be kind of where you were before?
Even close to that? How did you go from being one of the top 2 teams? It was Mercedes, Ferrari. You didn't make it out of Q2. When was the last time you saw both Ferraris not making it out of Q2? When was the last time you saw a Ferrari struggling with a Haas for 15th place? 15th! Right.
My thing is this. I looked at the car on the straights today. There was no power. None. Nope. They got passed easily on a couple of occasions. They were passed easily. Ferrari is just a mess right now. And it goes back to the point I've made. Instead of everybody hating on Mercedes and all these Ferrari fans getting mad at Racing Point, you all should not be commenting on any other team. This is my opinion, because you don't even know. You can't seem to get simple strategy right when your driver is radio in to ask you what to do. You don't know what to do. That was proven in this Grand Prix. You're not ready for tire changes. They look like rookies, man. They look like rookies out there.
Binotto needs to go. I'm sorry. He just doesn't have the backbone to I realize, again,
I can't put it all on him, man.
This is bigger than Binotto.
Yes, and that's why I can't say he needs to go, because he can only work what he's given. Binotto can only work with...
But he also... Have you seen some of his interviews and the stuff that flies out of his mouth?
Does he need a consultant? Yes. He needs a consultant.
No, Binotto just needs to go. He doesn't have the backbone to run that team. He just doesn't. He's an engineer that belongs in the technical and in the back. He wants to be seen. That's his thing. Right. We saw you. Go back to being a technical engineer somewhere. Go back to fixing whatever is... He should not be their leader.
So bring the old manager back. Is that what you're saying? The one from 18.
They did better with Arrivabene than they're doing with Benotto. Bring in somebody else. Bring in someone that not only can instill more because being a team principal has, and mind you, I don't know the full description of what it takes to be a team principal, but I imagine it would involve motivating your drivers, motivating your team. It's just basic people management to a degree on top of managing the sport and the speed and the technical aspects, which I'm sure you have to be brilliant for. Not taken away from the fact that he's very, very intelligent. He just doesn't have it. He's not the right personality. He just isn't. Ferrari desperately needs strong leadership. It is painfully obvious. And for anybody wondering why I feel so strongly about that, considering that I'm a Mercedes and Red Bull fan, winning isn't fun if there isn't competition. It was fun to watch Vettel and Hamilton. It was fun to see Leclerc busting in and flying down the straights and going, oh crap, we're actually gonna have to work.
Last year they actually,
we're actually gonna have to work because it makes it, winning isn't fun if it's just handed to you. You know, I'm not saying it's being handed to Mercedes at all. It's fun to have competition. And Ferrari not performing at all is like, come on guys, come on, let's have a grapple, let's wrestle for this championship. And half of me echoes what you've said over and over again. Some of these Ferrari fans that want to go on other teams' pages and troll Mercedes and have something to say about Red Bull and have something to say about this. Hush, your team is in shambles. Troll your own team's page. Maybe they can actually get it together and do something. Because, this is embarrassing.
Well, I will say,
Benotto is going to need to shave his head and get plastic surgery if he ever wants to be seen in Monza again.
I will say, you all Ferrari fans had the fastest car at one point. Now, though, they weren't as fast as my McLaren boys in 88, 89 when we were beating the field by average of 3.5, 4 seconds. But that just goes to show there are times when teams, like Mercedes is doing now, dominate with no issue. Ferrari did it with Schumi. On how many seasons they do that? But Ferrari now, it just makes it look. And now I'm seeing it when one guy made a good comment, and I asked myself the question, I did not comment. How long have you been doing this? What if this kind of penalty came down when Schumi was driving? Would we see the same drop off? How long have you been doing? Because you always have guys at the top in the FIA office ready to just say, hey, well, they're fine, and push it on through.
Here's a little fee, but we won't divulge what you've been doing. And then, clowns like Benotto come out talking about, we want transparency. It's stuff like that. When he says stuff like that, I'm like, hush.
Even, I think Crofty on during the last Grand Prix was like, I'm going to leave it right there. When he said that, I think everybody was like, from you? This is coming from Ferrari. They want transparency. If you want transparency, what was the penalty? And of course people, well, that's legal. No. Don't start picking and choosing when you want to make things relevant. Transparency is transparency. Don't start attaching your clauses to what transparency should be because you're a Ferrari fan. If you want transparency, they should be transparent about what happened last season. Yeah. And I think Ferrari has done some shady things. And I think they don't want to divulge the information of what they've done. Racing Point has had to show the difference with the brakes, and everyone's seen it. Mercedes with the DOS system, their engineer came out and said, here's how it works. It's simple. It's not that crucial. It's not to the point it's going to affect that much the performance of the car.
Ferrari, secret, signed, sealed, and delivered. We probably won't hear about it until, 70 years from now.
So again, all you Ferrari fans and all you Mercedes haters, McLaren haters, whoever's hating, listen, my point was proven. Up to this year, Ferrari's track record set by the Ferraris of Vettel and Kimi had not been broken. They've had the fastest car for years. Now a penalty comes down, we forget how to strategize. We're not running right. Aero package, the engine's down. Now everybody's like, oh yeah, you know why? Because you got caught cheating. So, guys, we appreciate you. We had time. We had more time later on. We talked about it. Thanks again for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bells. This is Formula for Speed. Babyface, any closing remarks for the people? Anything? Babyface does not like Ferrari, by the way, guys. He's not a fan. Any closing remarks?
Hagel und Granaten.
Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.